Hello, this is Callie Collins, Chief Product Officer for Optimality. And in this video, I'm going to be showing the admin features and master data related to the new Optimality shell. So first, to access those new features, you are able to click here on Admin Panel, or you're able to reach it through the organization settings. When you're in the organization settings, you're able to update your type, status, and privacy level. Privacy level does not yet do anything, but it will in the future. To control your access, you're able to click here on the team. The team name is related to your organization name. So when you are in this location, this is where you are able to manage the access levels for the people that are in your organization. You're also able to filter quickly through some of these buttons here that will be working in the near future, but we're also able to open up any of these people by double-clicking them. So this is where you're able to adjust what is the maximum approved access level. The access level here is a way to help control at an organization level the access that people should have within the system in the individual endeavors. So if the organization admin notes that someone can only ever have viewer access, then an admin of an individual endeavor team would not be able to grant them end user access. That is the maximum level that person would be able to have. End user access means that they are able to be in any read or write type of role on any endeavor, including they are able to be assigned as an admin at the endeavor level. Right now, we only have one type of organization admin, but that will be getting expanded in the future as well. You're able to click up here and change the spelling of the person's name. The email address is not yet an editable field. If you do need to change the email address for somebody, that is able to be submitted as a ticket into our Jira Service Manager. The status here, if you change to archived, it does not delete the people, but it does remove them from any of the teams that they are a part of and changes them to archived. So they are no longer able to be added as the responsible party for new activities. If they are active, they are simply an active user, and they are also able to log in. If you set somebody as a non-user resource, that one is a placeholder either for a future resource that will be logging in that is not yet named. For example, if you know the role of somebody that will be joining your team, but you don't have a named person yet, you're able to add that as a non-user resource. That allows you to tag that person as the responsible team member for activities, but they do not yet have an association to a user login. It can be considered as a placeholder for a future person that will be logging in, or you can just create long-term non-user resources that allow you to place generic roles or people onto activities as being responsible, but those people are not associated with a user that is able to log in. You're also able to identify the role, and the default calendars will be a feature coming soon, as well as the master data that you would be able to tag and customize in the future for every one of your users. You're also able to see quickly in one location all of the endeavors and the roles that that person is associated with. So this is not where you can add somebody to a team from this screen. That would be a future activity that we will be building on our roadmap. But for right now, you are able to quickly see everything that that person has access to. If you want to add a new person, you can simply click here and add a new person. So you are able to input that from this location. You're also able to see the list of all of the companies that we have loaded, and I will go in just a minute and show you where that list is pulling from. You are also able to clear filters, search. You are able to sort any of these by clicking on the heading. You're able to filter any of these columns as well, and you can also drag and drop it here to the top if you want to group by any of these columns also. So going into the next set of settings here in the organization, we are able to look at master data. We'll do that next. We're going to skip that for now and look at naming conventions. So a naming convention is a field that is required by Optimality to be in the system, but the individual organizations are able to customize what's in that field. An example here is the company dropdown within the resources domain. That is something that we do require in the system, but every individual organization is able to customize that drop-down list with what the default is. You're able to reorder these by dragging them and moving them around. You're also able to customize the color coding and an abbreviation. And the abbreviation is just a field that would allow you to put that onto any sort of chart or dashboarding as well if you didn't want the full complete name. You're also able to add new values or select any of these via multi-select or single select and delete any selected values. It will only let you delete values that were not previously assigned. In the Master Data tab, this is where you are able to create organization level master data. This is the master data that you would want to keep standard at an organization level, perhaps so that you can do reporting across multiple endeavors. This is also where you would be creating the master data that would be assigned in your standard process library, because the standard process library is managed at an organization level. So any one of these, you are able to go in and edit or create new. You can tag to the applicable domains that it's going to work for. You are able to go in also and add any new values. So we can create a test 4. You're able to customize the colors, or it does default into the next default color in order. We're able to select these as single or multiple selection. You're also able to create whether this is an organization standard or it's just one that you are creating as well. So we can go ahead and save that, and creating new will create new fields. These under activity, task, and content, these are the master data that would be tagged onto an activity, task, or piece of content. So it's at that lower level. If you click over here to Endeavor, this is where you're able to customize the master data that you would assign at the Endeavor level. So not what's managed at the Endeavor level, but rather what is individually assigned to an endeavor. So perhaps that would be the location or a region or a business line, something like that that you would tag at that higher level. So the next area that is being updated is within Endeavor settings here. So in your Endeavor settings, this is where you are able to manage the individual teams for the Endeavor. We have a different video that talks more about that. But within this master data tab here, this is where you are able to create new master data endeavor or master data for your endeavor. Also, if you create a new field, you now see that you are able to import it from the library. So if you select that there, you are able to import these from the standard organization library. You can see here that these ones are already assigned on our endeavor, so we wouldn't need to necessarily re-import those ones. And eventually we will also be setting up different master data categories for your organization standard library. So if you have different project types, perhaps an engineering project would have different than a construction project, different than software development. So you're able to categorize those in the future, but right now those are all tagged just to general. So now if I am in here, I'm able to go into these fields, and you're able to see this one here is an org standard. So we know that this master data field is being brought in from the organization standard library. On the Endeavor level, you are able to change the default, but otherwise this is being kept standard to the organization standard library. Any of the other master data fields, you are able to fully go in there and customize those at an individual Endeavor level. Thank you very much.